Welcome back to Think CSEC channel. If you're visiting the channel for the first time, please go right ahead and subscribe to the channel and turn on your notification bell so that you are alerted when new videos are posted. Well, today we'll be doing part 2 of the CSEC Principles of Business January 2020 past paper 1. So let us get right in. The question says on 31 says, which of the following gives identity to a specific producer's goods? A. Label, B. Brand, C. Patent, or D. Copyright? We know it would be brand. B would be our answer. Okay, let's go on to question 32. Which of the following actions is least likely to be described as good public relations for a company? A. Sponsorship of a steel band. B. The offering of scholarships. C. Hosting of sport events. Or D. Reduction in prices to retailers. So we're looking at good public relations. So we know good public relations for a company has to do with is not A, sponsorship of a steel band, nor offering of scholarships or hosting of annual sport events. Our answer would be D, reduction in prices to retailers, because you're dealing with customers, company customers. So reduction in prices to retailers. Let's move on to question number 33. It says, merchandising can best be described as A. Giving merchants goods on consignment. B. Training employees to conduct market research. C. Counting stock for an electronic point of sale system. Or D. Highlighting the physical and visual aspects of selling. So we know merchandising have to do with selling physical products. So D, highlighting the physical and visual aspects of selling. So D would be our answer. Oftentimes you go in the supermarkets and you'll see merchandisers packing out products on the shelves. Right, let's look at 34. The primary function of advertising is to A. Promote brand loyalty. B. Promote public relations. C. Communicate information. Or D. Ensure a wider distribution of goods. So, what is a primary function of advertising? Why do you advertise a product? A company advertise a product. We know it's not promoting a brand loyalty. That's not the purpose or the main reason why a company advertises a product. Nor is it promoting public relations. Those two would be totally out. So looking at C or D, we would say the best answer would be C, communicating information, letting the public know about the product. Unless you advertise, persons can't know the availability of the product. And that would give them an incentive to go and purchase it. Let's go on to question 35. Which of the following is not part of the distribution chain? So distribution chain, main point. A, manufacturer. B, wholesaler. C, contractor. or D, retailer? Now this one is a giveaway because we know A, manufacturer is a part of the distribution chain, wholesaler and retailer. So the one that is not is C, contractor. Let's go on to number 36. It says, which of the following modes of transport is best suited for moving large amounts of long haul cargo? A, sea, B, rail, C, road, or D, pipeline? We know it would be rail, long haul of cargo. So we know our answer would be B, a large amount. Let's move on to question number 37. Which of the following documents shows ownership of imported goods? A, bill of exchange. B, letter of credit. C, import license. Or D, bill of lading. We know this is once imported goods to claim ownership. D, bill of lading. Let's go on to question 38. It says, which of the following types of providers are FedEx and DHL? A, 2PL, B, 3PL, C, 4PL, or D, 5PL? We know it is B, 3PL. Okay, so let's go on to question 39. Here it says, a supply chain is best defined as the A, storage of work in progress and finished goods, B, processing of raw materials and components into finished goods, C, delivery of finished products from the point of origin to the point of destination, or D, system of organizations and resources involved in moving products from suppliers to customers. We know our answer would be supply chain, one link to the next. D, it would be system of organizations and resources involved in moving products from suppliers to customer, from one link to the next. So our answer would be D. Okay, let's go on to question number 40. It says, the acronym GPS stands for A, Global Positioning System, B, Global Programming System, C, Geographic Positioning System, or D, Geographic Programming System. Well, we know it would be Global Positioning System, GPS. Let's go on to 41. Says, the success of a government's economic policies can be most effectively measured by A, an increase in the level of policies, B, an increase in the standard of living, C, a decrease in the level of employment, or D, a decrease in the volume of production. What would be your answer? It would be government economic policies, right? So we are going to deal with it going to be measured by A, an increase in the level of policies. So, did I say A? Sorry, B. It's a mistake. B, sorry. Increase in the standard of living. I made an error there. So it's B. The answer is B, an increase in the standard of living. That's what government's economic policies are measured by. How well a country standard of living is. Okay, let's go on to 42. One of the major functions of a central bank is to A. Issue notes and coins. B. Issue stocks and shares. C. Accept deposit accounts. Or D. Make loans and advances. We know it is major functions of a central bank is to issue notes and coins. Let's go on to 43. A plan for systematic saving and spending is referred to as A. Trading, B. Investing, C. Financing, or D. Budgeting. We know a plan where saving and spending is being done. We know that is referred to as a budgeting. D. Let's go on to 44. Mr. Jones has several bills of fixed amounts to pay each month. His bank manager agrees to pay them monthly for Mr. Jones' account. This service provided by the bank refers to A. Overdrafts, B. Acting trustees, C. Standing orders, or D. Letters of credit. We know it is referred to as a standing order. That is what the bank, the service that is provided by the bank is referred to. When the person indicates that they will pay a fixed amount each month. A standing order is what the bank uses. Let's go on to number 45, sorry. It says, which of the following is not a source of income for an individual who is engaged in personal budgeting? A. Salaries earned. B. Loan repayment. C. Interest from savings. Or D. Dividends from investments. We know our answer is B. Loan repayment. That's not a source of income for an individual. Salaries earned is an source of income. Interest from savings and dividends from investments. So B, loan repayment. That is not a source of income. B. Let's go on to 46. The central bank is owned and controlled by the A, government, B, shareholders, C, public sector, or D, country citizens. We know once it is a central bank, it is controlled by the government. A. Let's go on to 47. Which of the following services are provided by commercial banks? 1. Controlling the supply of money. 2. Offering loans to small businesses. 3. Accepting deposits from customers. Is it A, 1 and 2 only? B, 1 and 3 only? C, 2 and 3 only? Or D, 1, 2, and 3? We know it would be controlling the supply of money would be out. That's not a service that the commercial bank offers. So we know that would be out. So once any answers involving 1, we can rule that out. So we can rule out answer A, we can rule out answer B, and we can rule out answer D. So our answer would be C, 2 and 3 only. The service offered by a commercial bank is 1, offering loans to small businesses, 2, accepting deposits from customers. So 2 and 3 only would be your answer. So C. C would be your answer. Let's go on to question 48. Financial investments can be defined as the A, assets that generate income, B, stock of goods available in a country, C, amount of money available at a given time, or D, amount of capital owned by the government. We know it is the financial investments, stock of goods available in a country. Is it that? No. Is it the amount of money available at a given time? No. Is it the amount of capital owned by the government? Absolutely not. So we know that financial investments would be assets that generate income. So answer would be A. Let's go on to question number 49. It says, which of the following measures could be used to protect the environment? 1, recycling. 2, deforestation. 3, water conservation. Is it A, 1 and 2 only, B, 1 and 3 only, C, 2 and 3 only, or D, 1, 2, and 3? We know it would be. We know recycling is a means to protect the environment. Yes, recycle cans and bottles. So 1, we know definitely would be included in our answer. So we know that option C is totally out. So we're looking at options A, B, and D. Let us look at deforestation now. Is that one? No, deforestation is not a means of protecting the environment. Absolutely not. So we know 2 would be out of our answer. So we know now, we can now rule out A. That's not a part of our answer. So any one that includes 2, we know it is out. So what are we left with? So deforestation is out. So A is out, C is out, and D would be out. So we're left with A, recycling and water conservation. So 1 and 3 only, B would be our answer. Okay, let's go on to question number 50. Which of the following objectives is an economic aim of government? A, increase the level of literacy. B, stabilize the national currency. C, develop a proper legal system. Or D, maintain an effective security force. We know it would be to stabilize the national currency. That would be the aim, because that affects the standard of living. All right. The higher the dollar goes, the US currency, the more expensive food becomes. But when the government stabilizes it at a level, then goods and services can be more affordable to citizens. Let's move on to 51. Which of the following activities is a function of a chamber of commerce? A, creating employment. B. Protecting the environment. C. Providing financial aid to hurricane victims. Or D. Advancing the interest of the business community. We know it would be to advance the interest of the business community. D would be your answer. Let's move on to question number 52. Which of the following measures are used by governments to redistribute income? A. Custom duties and levies. B. Consumption tax and tariffs. C. Payee and national insurance. D. Excise duties and value-added stock. We know it would be how governments, which of the following measures government use to redistribute income within the country? So when persons pay their wages and salaries, what is being taken from that to put back into the economy? We know it is payee, pay as you earn, and national insurance. So money collected from those taxes are used to help benefit the country. So answer is C. Those are the taxes that are paid to the government. Let's go on to 53. Tax paid on goods entering a country is referred to as A. Income tax. B. Excise duty. C. Customs duty. Or D. Corporation tax. We know it is customs duty. So the shipping wharves, once goods is entering into the country, you have to pay a custom duty tax. 54. Governments offer subsidies to businesses to A. Force them to pay corporation tax. B. Reduce costs and ultimately prices. C. Increase costs and ultimately prices. Or B was reduce cost and ultimate prices. C, increase costs and ultimate prices. Or D, increase the price of imported goods. Which one of them? We know it is to reduce cost and ultimate prices. B. Let's go on to question 55. Which of the following methods can a government use to reduce unemployment? A. Increasing income tax. B. Deflation of the economy. C. Increase interest rates on borrowers. Or D. Impose employment levies on firms. What would be your answer? We know it would be impose employment levies on firms. So D would be your answer. Increasing interest rate would be totally out. Increasing income tax, no. Neither deflation in the economy. So our answer would be D. Let's go on to question 56. It says, which of the following functions is not applicable to a management information system? A. Caters to the information needs of all levels of management. B. Provides greater flexibility through an integrated database. C. Allows the flow of information between functional areas. Or D. Changes the procedures used to carry out tasks. So I say, which of the following function is not applicable? Right? So if it is not applicable, caters the information needs of all levels of management. That is necessary. B. Provides greater flexibility through an integrated database. Yes. C. Allows the flow of information between functional areas. Absolutely. So the one that is not applicable to a management information system is D. Changes the procedures used to carry out tasks. Let's go on to 58, 57, sorry. It says, a major function of CARICOM is to A, allow member states to collaborate, B, foster interregional trade and common services, C, encourage a transfer of technology within the region, or D, allow for the unrestricted movement of persons among territories. So, see that word major and CARICOM function of it? What would be it? Well, we know of CARICOM have to do with interregional trade. So, once we see that, we know it would be B, foster interregional trade and common services. B. Let's go on to 58. Economic dualism refers to A, uneven sectorial growth, B, advancement in technology, C, increased in foreign investment, or D, growth in the agricultural sector. What would be your answer? We know it would be A, uneven sectorial growth. So our answer is A. Let's go on to 59. It says, the buying and selling of goods and services among countries is called A, balance of trade, B, international trade, C, balance of payments, or D, international marketing. Well, we can go ahead and use the method of elimination. We know it's not a balance of trade. It is not a balance of payments. And international marketing is way out. Absolutely not. So we know that the buying and selling of goods and services among countries is called international trade. So our answer would be B. Let's move on to our final question on this paper. Question 60 says, the introduction of technology in the production process may affect society by A, reducing pollution of cities, B, providing more jobs for unskilled workers, C, reducing jobs for unskilled workers, or D, increasing brain drain in the economy. So, reducing pollution of cities would be no. Providing more jobs for unskilled workers, no. C, reducing jobs for unskilled workers, yes. So that would be our answer. C. Good. So this is it. We have come to the end of the CSEC Principles of Business January 2020 past paper 1. So this is part 2. Be sure to watch part 1 where it covered questions 1 through to 30. So please remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel and leave a comment below. And thanks so much for watching these videos. Until then, we'll see you next time.